Hi guys, welcome to another Train Me Please video. Today we're going to be talking about how to deal with a child that is afraid of dogs. The first thing I'd like to mention, and probably the most important one, is that you should never leave children with dogs unsupervised, regardless of how safe you think that specific dog is. This will be a slightly different video than most of the videos I make because we're going to be focusing on the child a little bit more than we are going to be focusing on the dog. Now, one of the things you will need is a dog that is a perfect candidate for this type of conditioning. You need a dog that is sort of laid back and very well socialized to children of different ages and sizes. Now, if you do not have access to such a dog, you might consider reaching for a dog trainer because dog trainers have access to lots of dogs and you might be able to find a dog that is a suitable candidate for this type of conditioning. When you are trying to make your child more comfortable with dogs, you should not approach unknown dogs in the streets. Take your time and don't force it. Be comprehensive of the fear the child is showing and ask her if she needs more distance from the dog or if she needs more time to get used to the dog. The child should be the one deciding when she is ready to approach the dog. So one possibility is to carry the child in your arms so that the child feels a little bit safer, and try to talk to the child, make sure that he finds it interesting. And in this case, I'm just carrying my cousin Afonso in my arms, and I am keeping the dog Gaspar busy with food treats. Just a nice quick session. Be supportive and understanding regarding the fear that your child is showing. At the same time, you can try to show the child that approaching a dog is safe while you keep the child behind the barrier so that she can see you approaching the dog and at the same time feel safe about it. I recommend the use of food treats for these introductions. Having food treats there will accomplish two things for you. One is that the dog will build a positive association towards the child, so he will enjoy having the child there because it results in getting yummy treats. At the same time, it will move the focus away from the child and towards the food, so the dog will be thinking about the food a little bit more than about the child, and that's going to make your life easier. A little bit later on, you might be able to progress to the use of toys. You might incorporate a game of fetch, for example, with the child there. One possible second step that you can take is to just have the child there next to you, and you can hold the child to make it easier, and then having the dog getting treats in the child's presence. The goal is to have the child offering the treats using his own hands, which Afonso will do in just a few moments. But if for some reason the child that you are trying to get comfortable with dogs is not ready to offer treats with his hands right away, that is totally fine. We can stay at this level of training for a little bit longer and then progress to offering treats with the child's hands as soon as the child is ready, but do not force it. And there we go. Afonso is offering treats using his hands. This is just a little variation in which I toss a treat a few meters away, and then the dog comes back and gets a treat from Afonso's hand. We did a bunch of sessions at this level, a bunch of 1 minute, 2 minute little sessions, giving breaks to both the dog and Afonso. So both of them got a few breaks, and then later on we had an exercise session, and after that Afonso was confident enough to toss the ball for Gaspar a few times, which is what we are seeing now. So Gaspar is much more laid back at this moment, and Afonso was also feeling much more comfortable in the presence of the dog. Click thumbs up for this video and share it with your friends. I really appreciate the help I'm getting with everyone that has been sharing my videos. Like me on Facebook, on facebook.com/trainmeplease, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you get more animal training videos. Teach the child how to greet and interact with the dog. Generally speaking, things to avoid would be a head-on approach with hand to the face, yelling and shouting, staring in the dog's eyes, grabbing and holding or hugging the dog. A better way would be to stand sideways or backwards towards the dog, avoiding eye contact. The dog will typically approach and sniff, and after that, we can pet and stroke the dog to the side of the body or the side of the face, for example. So now we're going to see a few clips to pinpoint a few additional ideas. Here I'm trying to get my cousin Afonso to start to pet the dog. If he wants to try it, it's totally fine. If he does not want to try it, it's also fine, and I'm not going to force it. So we can clearly see that he's still a little bit cautious about the dog and still not super confident. But he's getting there. And we actually did a bunch of these sessions, and later on he was much more comfortable with the dog. So here I'm suggesting that he offers a few treats with his hands. And now we're going to start moving around. As soon as we start moving, that will make the dog follow us, and that's a new challenge for the child. So I actually hold his hand to make it easy for him and to provide some reassurance. And another thing that I did was to toss a few treats away so that the dog would give us some space and we could move a little bit without going over the dog. Now, after doing a bunch of these little sessions, Afonso built up his confidence and was much more okay with the idea of being around Gaspar. And we can see that here. He starts to pet the dog. He actually goes and hugs the dog a little bit, which I do not recommend. But at the same time, he was just building up his confidence at this point, so I didn't correct that behavior. And over here, I see that Gaspar wants some time away. He wants to just lay down. So I tell Afonso to leave him alone for a little bit. Even after you explain all these things to a child, she will probably still not do all of those things when she approaches the dog. So be patient and stick to the plan, and she will eventually become a master at greeting a dog. That's all I have for you today. Feel free to leave any suggestions in the comment section below. Keep well, I'll see you in the next video. Hey, have you watched my puppy biting video? If not, click the top left option. I also have 2 videos with Baruch in which I'm trying to make him more comfortable with people and with dogs. So if you haven't watched those videos yet, make sure to check them out. On the bottom right option, you can watch a video about puppy chewing and teething. And don't forget to subscribe.